This video was sponsored by Meta.
2024 was a fantastic year for VR. There were some fantastic games that came out for the system, including some real heavy hitters like Behemoth, Batman and Metro. But there were also a lot of games that went by largely unnoticed. That's why in this video we're going to cover 5 games from 2024 that you may have missed.
The first game from this year that I want to highlight should come as no surprise to anyone that follows me on social media, as it's a game I talk about quite a lot. Hide the Corpse is a physics-based puzzle game, all about hiding a surprisingly heavy body in a short amount of time. Your rank is earned based on how fast you can do that, and how well you can hide any evidence before the cops come in. It's a great little arcade-style game that will keep a smile plastered on your face from start to finish. There's 6 hiding spots available in each stage, and unlockable costumes and achievements too. It's a game you'll just keep coming back to for more. I'm honestly quite surprised it didn't catch on like I Am Cat did, as this is not only perfect for video clips and meme content, but it's also probably my favourite indie release from this year too. The next game is one that dropped out of nowhere on the Meta store to absolutely zero fanfare. There was no indication at all from the developers that this was in the works, nor any word from them afterwards that it even existed. It truly is one of those games where if you blinked, you'd miss it completely, and that game is Shogun Empire. It's a strategy game based on a flat PC title, but you'd have no idea playing it. Everything is presented so naturally in VR that you'd think it was made completely from scratch. The game is remarkably fun to play too, even if it's surprisingly way harder than you may have expected. But considering we don't have many challenging titles in VR, I very much welcome its difficulty. Our third title actually doesn't even have a full release yet, but it's so much fun I had to include it anyway, and that game is Survivors of Xcalibur. It's essentially a tower defense version of Vampire Survivors in VR. Your goal is to protect a crystal from a horde of alien creatures, and as you gain more XP, you can power up your weapons until you're hopefully strong enough to beat off the last of them. Despite being in early access, it's a game you can play for quite a fair bit of time thanks to a nice variety of weapons and unlockable perks that you can gain after each level, whether you win or fail. It keeps you constantly progressing and wanting to see if you can beat the next stage. I'm very excited to see how this one progresses before its final release, as it's already worth the very cheap asking price. Have you ever wanted to play a kart racer in VR? Well, Galaxy Kart is for you. It has a pretty dedicated fan base, but I don't really hear much of it outside of their own Discord server, so I do think it might have passed many people by. Sure, it may be difficult to manually throw projectiles while steering, but that's also part of the fun. It has a whole extra layer of depth to a well-established genre. What impressed me the most though, is how they've managed to ensure that it feels fast and frantic, whilst also eliminating any sense of motion sickness. I have everything on the most extreme of options, and it doesn't affect me in the slightest. They've honestly done a great job at bringing the genre into virtual reality, and I hope most people can jump on it in the future. The final game on our list came as a surprise to even me. I stumbled across Some Assembly Required, and I had to go on a whim. Just because of its obscurity, I assumed it had been on the system for ages. Little did I know that it actually released in May of this year. The game has you assembling robots from component pieces so you can perform a certain task. To do so, you need to put together the relevant wheels, blocks, engines, pistols and the like. There's no real solution to each problem, you just need to use your creativity to get the job done. It's far harder than it looks, and you can spend hours tweaking your creation to get it just right. It feels like the vehicle creator in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, albeit with additional complexity. If you're looking for a challenging and unique game, then you should definitely pick this one up.
So those are 5 games that released in 2024 that you may have missed. Down below in the description are the affiliate link for each game we featured, and you'll be able to get a nice bit of discount. As affiliate members of Meta, it'll give us a nice bit of commission too, so it helps the site out. Do you know of any other obscure games from 2024 that I didn't include? Let me know in the comments and maybe I'll feature those in a future video.